Hello, wonderful. It is Sarah, and we are here to talk about what it means to be toxic person proof. And you don't get fancy Sarah today because the children are home from school, and I've been homeschooling all morning, and they are doing construction at my house upstairs to have a podcast room because right now I work from everywhere in my house. So we're building a room upstairs for podcasting and soundproofing and a beautiful background and always perfect lighting because you guys tell me that I need to work on my lighting, things like that. And the kids have been doing virtual school this morning. So what does it mean to be toxic person proof? I just got off a podcast interview with Natalie Hoffman of Flying Free. She runs a conservative Christian-based coaching program for people who leave toxic relationships and toxic situations. And she asked me what it meant to be toxic person proof. And the first thing I said was there is a element of humility to being toxic person proof. Now, I'm sure if you've had a toxic situation or a toxic romantic relationship, people are like, I would never put up with that. If he did that to me, I would throw him out. I would never have done that. I would never have seen that. How did you miss that? Okay. That is not what I'm talking about when I'm saying toxic person proof. Okay. Those people operate from this. I cover this in my book, but those people operate from the same place of like, well, I won't be the one who gets cancer. I won't be the one who gets in the car wreck. I won't be the one who has to, pay back taxes or whatever it is. But they operate from something called positivity bias, which means it won't happen to me. Okay. I believe those people are actually more likely to end up in a toxic situation because they're not looking out for it. They're not practicing discernment. They're assuming they already have all the answers. You guys know, I'm literally one of the world's leading experts in this space. And when I think about being toxic person proof, I think about it like doctors practice medicine or people practice meditation. Okay. Doctors practice medicine. They use this, they study it, they learn, they get educated, they get trained, and they work to make the best decision with the best information that they have. And they recognize that it's like, well, I think this is the best decision based on what I have. I don't always have all the info, okay? And people practice meditation because it's like no one's perfect at meditating. They practice meditation, and some people have done a lot more practicing than others. And I think about, I have practiced putting boundaries up. I have practiced not letting my kindness be used against me. I've practiced no longer people pleasing. I've practiced getting a little more comfortable with conflict. I still don't like conflict, but I don't run away from it just because of my fear. If I need to stand up for myself or others. Okay. And part of being toxic person proof as well is recognizing that when you are emotionally connected to a situation, you're going to have a different set of goggles on. If you are explaining, and this is why people say, oh, I could see toxic people in other people's lives. I wish I could take my own advice. I can spot a toxic person a mile away in somebody else's life. So have you ever had that girlfriend, she's like, oh, you shouldn't date that guy. He's a hot mess. And it's like, well, your boyfriend's a hot mess. Well, I know, but I love him. Okay? Emotionally connected to the situation. You've probably seen this with adult children. It's like, wow, you let your kids talk to you that way? Ooh, I think your kid's being mean to you. They need some boundaries, or they need some, and the child's railing on them or being ugly to them or being disrespectful to them. Well, he's a good kid. He doesn't mean it, right? Because they are emotionally connected to the situation. Oh, thank you so much for that. Has been the biggest compliment is how many people I've said have gotten multiple copies of the book. And I'm going to do like a whole sharing is caring type thing. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I need you guys to spread the message. Like, I just really do, as we all do. And I cannot do it on my own. I feel like we're all in this together. If you've ever seen High School Musical. And it is so humbling and such a graceful piece for me to hear that you guys bought my book and then gave it to a coworker, gave it to somewhere else, gave it to someone else. And I think the world is better if we do that. You guys know I guess in some ways this sounds silly and ridiculous, and I don't mean it this way, but I have other coaches who do what I do on my podcast that I promote, and I promote their work because I think the world needs less toxic encounters and less toxic situations. So I'm happy to promote, do everything I can on my platform. And I say on my podcast, do you have a book? Do you have something coming out that I can, put your podcast at that time to help spread your message to the world? I'm having in the UK, there's a whole child abuse play that's going to happen on my podcast to help spread the message and protect people against child abuse. That is part of who I am. It's helping. To me, sharing is caring, and all these other experts, I now have a platform that I can help spread their message. And I need you guys to help spread my message. And they are spreading my message as well. And I think the more conversations we can have around this topic, the better. My husband, Ben, put my book on LinkedIn, and it's been interesting. And I did this on purpose. It's very much about not getting entangled with toxic people. And I tried to not make it only about romantic relationships, because in being toxic person proof, right? I would never put up with that bad behavior from my husband, but yet they're putting up with that bad behavior maybe from their parent or a sibling or their boss. And I think the world would be a better place if we take the shame out of calling it you're stupid for having been divorced because you were in a toxic marriage. But then you're fine if you get in a bad business deal with a toxic person. Come on now. That's not fair. That's not fair. It's not right. And I think it will, not that I'm promoting people getting a divorce or anything like that, but I am promoting safety. And I am promoting living in integrity within yourself. And I don't think your goal here in this life and your job here in this life is to help other people behave badly. What are you here for? Well, my purpose is to hide my, my family's addiction so that no one knows. My purpose is to put up with their anger. They don't have anybody else. So it's not like I'm an emotional punching bag, but I kind of am, because they don't have anybody else to be angry and I can take it. That is not your purpose here in life. And that's not spreading light, that's spreading darkness. Please, when I die, do not at my funeral say I helped people behave badly. My goal in this life was to cover up their bad behavior or ignore their bad behavior. Please do not say that about me. I don't think you will. But that's on purpose, right? That's on purpose, because we don't think about it that way. And that's what all these other podcasts and stuff, they're like, gosh, you just think about this so differently and talk about it so differently. And I was like, not to be ugly, but it doesn't seem to be working. The current conversation doesn't seem to be working. There's a lot of toxic people who are succeeding in their schemes. So yes, we need a new conversation around it. And so when you are emotionally connected to an outcome, it's harder to see. So part of that humility in becoming toxic person proof is saying, how emotionally connected am I to this person not being toxic? Because the more emotionally connected I am, the more likely I am to talk myself out of their bad behavior. For example, you see somebody at work and they're obviously toxic and they're ruining things for everyone. You talk to another coworker. Yeah, they're toxic. Yeah, I can see that. You talk to the person who hired them. Well, they're not that bad. Do you see that they're emotionally connected to having been right? Okay, think about the teacher at school. Little Johnny's acting up. No, little Johnny's not the problem. The other kids are the problem. Okay, the parents are emotionally connected to being right. They don't want their son to be the one that's misbehaving. The employer who hired them doesn't want to have been wrong about who they hired. So they are less likely to see toxic behavior and more likely to defend toxic behavior. But then they probably walk around like they're toxic person proof. Oh, yeah, never should have married that guy. I knew better than that. Okay, so I want to take out that shame. If anybody, and people have said that in my own life, I can't believe you of all people would have put up with that bad behavior. Thanks, guys. Was that supposed to be helpful? Was that supposed to make me feel better as I'm making huge life changes? Because it doesn't help. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's what happens all the time. So I want you guys to have some peace and to be able to develop some peace and some grace with yourself and in those situations. And I hope I can change that language for you. So we are going to start a Sharing is Caring campaign, which means if you are writing a review, if you are posting my book in a different Facebook group, if you are able to share it with someone, if you're able to share it with your friends and family, you share it on Facebook. It is not a book about toxic romantic relationships. It is and it isn't. In LinkedIn, it's done very, very well because people are like, oh, I have all this toxic situation at work. I need to. It's done very well on LinkedIn. So I don't want you to get like, oh, everybody will know I've been in this bad situation. It's not like that at all. It's about clearing the confusion and learning to trust yourself and doing better with our kids. So we're not only saying, don't watch out for strangers. We're able to say, watch out for sociopaths, right? How many of us would have been better off? The book is very funny. It's weird to say that because I wrote it, but I did try. I'm tackling very heavy subjects and very thought-provoking subjects, and I want you guys to laugh and smile. And there's that old song, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So that's how I would say, the spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So I hope it is light and free for you as well. And I hope it creates freedom for you. We are going to do a book club. So these Toxic Person Proof TV Tuesdays, I'm going to take a chapter from each book covering the blind spots, how to get people to listen to you, how to communicate with a toxic person, how to keep yourself safe, what the real purpose of boundaries is. So for the next, I've been doing these Toxic Person Proof Tuesdays, and so for the next several weeks, I'm going to take a chapter of each book and walk you through that. So it's like a little book club with the author each week. So I'm excited about that, and I will be posting more about the Sharing is Caring because I am here on this earth to help stop the cycle of toxic relationships. And I am both doing that through creating content and sharing my own. And I am an avid promoter of, I'm getting these from other people I'm promoting, right? That she's going to be my podcast tomorrow. Just got an email. I'm promoting other people's legacy too, and promoting their work and promoting their contribution to this. So I always try to lead by example, and I am doing that too. I am helping promote them through the podcast and even scheduling their podcast releases at the time their book releases or at the time they have an event coming up in support of their work. So I would love for you to join our Sharing is Caring program and help promote this book and this work. And I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. There's going to be prizes. Me and Melissa and Shannon are thinking about prizes. Like you have a private Zoom call with me, or a month free in the Wonder Soulman program, or like a mini course, parenting course. I can do that. I have all this content that is like available. So I'm going to try to decide. So if you guys have any ideas, what would be a really cool prize? Both a prize for like everybody who does it gets a prize, and then like a drawing for like a grand prize too. So those are some things that are coming up right now, and the Sharing is Caring. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. Anybody have any comments that I need to see? Yeah, it's just so humbling when you guys are saying things like, I bought the books for my children, and my dad is actually reading the book, and he goes, oh, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. And he said it more eloquently and sweetly than that, but he was like, Sarah, this is actually really good. I was like, What'd you think it was going to be, Dad? It's interesting. I put in the acknowledgements, thank you to the people who've watched me fall, watched me fail, and watched me fly. And, if you guys have met me through an online community, you probably only think of me as flying. But I have had plenty of falling and failing too. I assure you. I absolutely came from the school of hard knocks in this subject. And so I'm happy to connect with you in this way. So check it out. I'll be posting some stuff about the sharing is caring. If you have any cool prizes that you think would be amazing, put them, and I do want the prizes to help make your life better, right? I could give you a Sarah K Ramsey t-shirt. That's fine. It's not going to improve your life. It might be cute for a picture. I really am passionate about helping people have amazing lives and creating amazing lives. And so think about it in those terms. If there's a course you'd want me to do or something like that, that could help you, that is what I want to do for you. I want you to say, gosh, I just had this missing link in my life and I did this and I won this prize and it helped me forever. That's what I want. That's what I'm here for. So hope you guys are having an amazing day. Sharing is caring. I'll be looking up for it more, and looking at the next few weeks being the book club, and I'll take a chapter from each book and teach you guys a little bit more about being toxic person proof. Until then, check out the podcast and check out the book. Have a great day.